Today, I want to talk about the Hawkeye TV show and talk about a post that I saw on Facebook that irked me. To start this discussion, we have to ask a tedious question, and before I ask that tedious question, I want to introduce myself properly. My name is Tyler, and welcome to Draw and Talk. I'm an award-winning cartoonist as well as a comic book writer and artist, and I'm currently working on my own series called The Girl with the Mega Fist, which is coming out very soon. Okay, let's talk about this. The question that we have to ask is the Hawkeye TV show produced by Disney Plus woke? I hate this question. I really hate this question. And the reason why is because it just depends on who you talk to. And when we dive into the subject, and if you're like me, you start to ask, are people just saying things are woke because they just don't like them? Like, are they really woke, or is it you just don't like the media that you're consuming? So for those of you who don't know, the Hawkeye TV show is heavily inspired, keyword inspired, by the Hawkeye run from Marvel Now, written by Matt Fraction and art by David Aja. This is my top 3 favorite Marvel comic series. Their run on Hawkeye, to me, was phenomenal. So when I heard that Disney was doing a TV show and taking inspiration from this comic series and having Haley Steinfeld play Kate Bishop, I was thrilled. In fact, the Hawkeye show is the only Disney Plus Marvel show that I've watched, and I really enjoyed it. But there's this scene in the Hawkeye show where Kate Bishop and Eliana from the Black Widow movie interact, and to some, this scene was woke. Let's play it really quick.
Hi! I made macaroni if you want some. Are you really not hungry? That fight was so long. It's really tasty, really tasty.
Yeah, I know what boxed mac and cheese tastes like. Okay, I know it's delicious.
What? This is crazy. I'm going to have dinner with the enemy. And she made some really good smelling macaroni.
So now that we have some context, this was the post that I saw on social media. The person said, "So I finally got around to finishing Hawkeye because I was led to believe it wasn't as woke as the other MCU shows, but holy crap was I misled. This scene was, for example, which comes right after one of these characters has tried to murder the other, is like a Gail Simone comic come to life. Quirky, laugh out loud, so random dialogue, food humor, girls becoming besties even though it makes no sense, etc. I get that Marvel is trying to set up the new teenage girl Avengers, but couldn't they find a less cringy way to do it? And did I mention that the show's big action climax involves intercutting between no less than 3 sequences of grown men, including Clint himself, getting beat up and defeated by young women? If this is what non-woke looks like nowadays, I'm out." Okay, here's my thing. All of that is fair criticism to some degree. If you don't like the show, that's 100% okay. If you didn't like the dialogue or their interaction between these characters, that is 100% valid. If you hate the direction that the MCU is going, that is 100% okay. But to say it's woke because there is food talk, girls becoming friends, and teen humor, that I think is a bit of a stretch, and I actually personally think it's just way off base. Which brings me to the title of the video, The Boy Who Cried Woke. I understand that there is a plague of wokeness in comics that are preachy, cringy, and just terrible. Trust me, I'm on your side on this. All of that is fair. When you have Ms. Marvel in the comics telling us the importance of voting, or female Thor's villain letting her win because she's a woman and paving the way, that is woke. And it's cringe, and it is bad storytelling. But to say that Hawkeye is woke because it has this particular scene, and just because you don't like it, it's considered woke, to me that is way off base. So is it going to get to the point that people start saying, ugh, this is woke, just because the style of the storytelling doesn't fit what you want, that the dialogue isn't what you want, that the story isn't catered to your demographic? If a show is written for a customer profile that you don't fit in, does that make it woke? I don't know. I mean, these are just questions that I'm asking. But my point in talking about this is that we need to watch out and make sure that we don't go to the extreme on both sides. If you think the left is too woke, but you think that talking about food makes a show or a comic woke, then maybe we've gone too extreme, and now we're all way off base. Okay? Because I watched the Hawkeye show, and there was no moment where I was like, oh, this is woke, this is cringe, that I have to, that I felt like I was being preached to. Were there moments of maybe immaturity or going or cutesy dialogue that maybe teenagers would be into? Absolutely, absolutely. But that's the demographic that they're going towards. And even though it might not have been for me, and it clearly wasn't, it for you, it doesn't make it woke. And I don't want this to be a pattern where we start realizing that a lot of people who are saying, oh, this is woke, this is woke. I don't want the boys to be crying woke just because you don't like it. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's woke. But what are your thoughts on this? Did you watch Hawkeye? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons who make it possible for me to make these videos and to make my own comic book and manga series. The Girl with the Megafist comes out in February 2022 on Kickstarter and then Indiegogo and then other places, so I'm super excited to get that out to you guys. You guys have a great freaking day. Remember, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Peace.